All right, welcome. Today we're going to pull back the curtain on one of the most powerful tools in generative AI, Amazon Bedrock. We're going to break down exactly what it is, how it actually works, and why it is such a game changer for literally anyone looking to build with AI.
So, you want to build something cool with generative AI. Awesome. But where do you even start, right? If you're a developer or an innovator, you've definitely asked yourself this. The world of AI is just exploding with these incredible models and possibilities. But let's be honest, it can feel like a super chaotic, complex maze. Just getting from that great idea to a real working application, well, that can be a huge challenge.
So here's our game plan. First, we'll talk about the challenges every AI builder faces. Then, we'll introduce Bedrock as the solution. We'll explore the universe of models it gives you access to, check out its pretty advanced toolkit, and finally, see how it just gets rid of the biggest barriers to building. Okay, let's dive right in and set the scene. The whole generative AI space it's thrilling, right? But for the people actually on the ground trying to build with it, it can be just a lot. There's this constant fire hose of new models, new techniques, new complexities you have to somehow navigate.
I mean, does any of this hit a little too close to home? You're trying to juggle totally different APIs for every single model you want to try out. You're stressing about the heavy lifting of setting up servers that can even handle the workload. And then you have the really big questions, right? How do you keep your company's data private and secure? How in the world do you pick the perfect model out of a sea of options? And maybe most importantly, how do you make it smart about your specific business?
And that right there is exactly where Amazon Bedrock comes into the picture. You can think of it as this elegant solution that's designed to just cut through all of that noise. It's your single, simplified, and super secure front door into the world of high-performance generative AI. So what is it, really? Well, the official definition says it's a fully managed service. And that fully managed part is key. It basically means AWS is handling all the messy, complicated infrastructure stuff in the background for you. Its main job is to give you easy access to the best AI models out there, all through one single, unified API. And this image right here, this is the absolute core idea. It's like having a universal remote for generative AI. Instead of writing totally different code for models from Anthropic, or Meta, or Cohere, you just talk to Bedrock. One API, one integration point, and you can access this whole universe of AI. That is a massive simplification for any dev team. And this leads to something that is just music to any developer's ears, a true serverless experience. If you've ever had to manage your own servers, you know what a big deal this is. You're not bogged down with infrastructure. You can go from an idea to a working prototype in minutes, not weeks. You can just focus on building your app. Okay, so this whole one API thing, it unlocks the first major superpower of Bedrock, which is choice, a massive amount of choice. You're not locked into one company's model or their way of thinking. You have an entire universe of models to choose from. And this is all about flexibility. Think about it. Maybe for one part of your app, you need a model that's an absolute rock star at creative writing. But for another part, you need one that's a genius at generating code. And for a third, you need something that can create stunningly realistic images. Bedrock lets you pick the right tool for the right job every single time. And I mean, just look at this lineup. Seriously, it's like the Avengers of the AI world. You've got Amazon's own Titan models, the super powerful Claude family from Anthropic, Meta's open source Llama models, you've got text and embedding models from Cohere, these innovative models from Mistral AI, and of course the incredible image generation of Stable Diffusion from Stability AI. And they're all there, waiting for you through that one API we just talked about. Okay, so having access to all these incredible models is amazing, right? But that's just the beginning. Bedrock doesn't just hand you the keys to the car, it gives you a whole toolkit to pop the hood and really tune the engine. This is where you can truly make the AI your own. And this, right here, is probably one of the most critical features for any real business. A general-purpose AI is smart, for sure, but it doesn't know anything about your product catalog, or your internal company policies, or your customer history. Bedrock gives you the tools to securely teach the model about your world. So how do you do that? Well, one of the most powerful ways is with a technique called Retrieval Augmented Generation. I know, it sounds super technical. We just call it RAG. The idea is actually pretty simple. Instead of the model just relying on its old, pre-trained knowledge, it can first retrieve relevant info from your private documents and then use that fresh information to generate a much more accurate, context-aware answer. It means your AI can answer questions about today's sales data, not just what it was trained on a year ago.
And you might be thinking, that sounds complicated, but Bedrock makes this ridiculously simple with something they call knowledge bases. It's literally 3 steps. 1, you just point Bedrock to your data, say a folder of PDFs in an Amazon S3 bucket. 2, Bedrock securely handles all the complex background work of preparing and indexing that data. And 3, the model now automatically uses that knowledge base to give much, much smarter answers. All right, so RAG helps your AI know more. But what if you wanted your AI to do more? To not just answer questions, but to actually take action? Well, that's exactly what agents for Amazon Bedrock are for. An agent is basically an AI that can interact with your other software systems to get tasks done. So here's how it works. You give an agent a goal, a pretty high-level one, like, hey, book my travel for that conference in San Francisco next week. The agent is smart enough to understand that goal and then break it down into a logical plan. And then it actually executes that plan step by securely calling your company's internal APIs for flights, hotels, expenses, whatever it needs to get the job done. It turns conversation into action. Now, all of this, it sounds almost too good to be true, right? It's incredibly powerful. But for any serious application, you've got to ask the tough questions about security, privacy, and whether it can actually handle real-world scale. Bedrock was built from the ground up on the foundation of AWS to address these things head-on. And this is where you can kind of breathe a sigh of relief. This power comes with some serious peace of mind. First, and this is the big one, your private data always stays private. It is never used to train the base foundation models, period. Everything runs inside the secure AWS cloud you already know and trust. You get built-in tools for responsible AI, and to top it all off, no infrastructure for you to manage. Ever. You know, this quote here from the docs, it just nails it. It perfectly wraps up everything we've been talking about. It hits those 3 core pillars: getting started quickly, customizing privately with your own data, and integrating securely. That's what Bedrock is all about, making powerful AI accessible, practical, and safe for everyone. So, let's recap. We've seen how Bedrock just smashes through the complexity, gives you this incredible menu of choices, and hands you an advanced toolkit, all wrapped up in a secure, enterprise-grade package. It removes the barriers and provides the power. So really, the only question left is, what will you build?